All right, so let's just get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Number Sense Basics class open house for momentum learning. I hope at the end of this open house, you'll have a better understanding of how this class is going to go, some of the topics you guys are going to learn in this class, and hopefully as well sign up for the class. So first, a quick introduction about me. My name is Justin. I've been participating in math contests for elementary school. Since elementary school, I think I've taken number sense tests for around 10 years now. So I have a lot of experience doing number sense, and I've won a lot of awards in number sense competitions, such as TMSCA, UIL, Mathing.org, as well as other competitions such as Math Counts. So in specifically for number sense, I've won a lot of things for number sense. Most notably, I've won the UIL Math State Meet and also placed third place in number sense, as well as placing very highly in TMSCA state number senses. So I guess just a fun fact about me, in my free time, I really like to hang out with some of my friends, and I also like to listen to music. At the end of this class, if you really want to take this class and register for it, the way you go to register, you have to go to momentumlearning.org. And once you go to the website, momentumlearning.org, you can click the button that says 2024 Spring at the top of the page. After you click 2024 Spring, you can click Online. After Online, a bunch of these tabs will pop up. Click on the one that says School Math. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see the class called Number Sense Basics. So you can click on the class Number Sense Basics. And from there, you can see a lot more about the class details as well as the registration. So this Number Sense Basics class will be every Sunday from 2 to 3:15 p.m. Central Time. And the dates that we're going to be going from is every Sunday from February 4th to May 5th, excluding February 18th and March 10th. And generally, we want kids to be in grades 5 through 7. But if you're only a little younger than that or a little older, that's completely fine. That's just like the general range. So that's how you register and find more class details. So now let's talk about what we're actually going to be doing in this class. So here we have a list of topics that we're going to be covering in number sense. Again, if you go to momentumlearning.org and click on the description, you'll be able to find a list of these topics as well. But for a quick rundown right now, you can see there's a lot of tricks and tips that we're going to be learning for number sense and mental math, such as say FOIL, multiplying by different numbers like 25, 125, 101, cube roots, square roots, sets, factorials, just a whole variety of topics that someone will need to take or need to learn in order to do well in number sense competitions or just get better at mental math in general. So what actually is number sense? So number sense, I guess the way that I would describe it is just the art of mental math. So how do you get better at mental math? Well, the secret to getting good at number sense or mental math is memorization and practice. You need to be able to learn how to do the tricks and rules accurately first. And then once you figure out how to do the tricks and rules, the common questions accurately, then you should continue practicing them. You can do them very quickly. So first, you need to build up your accuracy and your knowledge. And then after, you need to practice getting faster and faster. So every practice that you do should be under a time limit that includes things like homework or even the practice test that we'll take in class sometimes. So why should you do number sense? Well, number sense, if you practice number sense, it helps you not only with just specifically number sense, the competition, it will help you throughout your life for math skills. So the tricks that you learn in this class aren't just specific to the number sense test or mental math. It'll help you in things like school math, college math, and even math competitions if you want to get better. Because if you learn how to do the simple calculations faster through mental math, then you can learn how to do the harder questions faster. So learning number sense will really help you improve your calculation abilities, and just your general math skills as a whole. So just out of curiosity, through like a show of hands or something, or maybe a message through the chat, how many of you guys are from Texas? Okay, so some people, one person. Okay, so if you're looking for actual experience with number sense competitions, if you live in Texas, there's two main competitions called TMSEA, which is for Texas elementary school and middle schoolers. That's basically a number sense competition, and then UIL for Texas high schoolers. But if you don't live in Texas, or if you do live in Texas, there's a national competition called mathleague.org for elementary schoolers. And in mathleague.org, there's going to be a number sense test that you can take in the competition. So if you want real life experience with number sense testing, you can go to a mathleague.org meet, or again, if you live in Texas, TMSCA or UIL. Okay, so before we get started with an example trick, does anyone have any questions so far about the general description of the course? Okay. Again, and if you have a question, the two main ways you can ask me a question are just private messaging me during the chat, or you can just unmute and ask, and I'll be fine with that. So yeah, unmute or text in the chat, and I'll usually see your question. Okay, so now let's go on to one of the most basic tricks that we're going to learn in this class. So one of the most important things that you need to learn in number sense is leoff or FOIL. So what this trick is essentially a 2-digit multiplied by 2-digit multiplication trick. So usually you only want to use this trick if you forget another rule about 2 by 2 multiplication. So say if you're multiplying by 25, but you forgot how to multiply by 25, you can always use 2 by 2 FOIL. So FOIL will always work for any 2 by 2 digit multiplication, which is pretty important for why we need to learn. So let's go through the steps of FOIL. So first, the first step of FOIL or leoff is going to be taking the last or the units digits of both 2 by 2 digit numbers. So we have an acronym called leoff that we usually use in order to do this, and I'll explain each letter step by step. So first, the last number. So the last number of your answer is going to be the product of the last digits of the 2 by 2 numbers. So your last number, say our answer is 3 digits, your last number is going to be the product of your last digits. So you have 3 and 2 as your last digits. So the last number of the product is going to be 3 times 2 or 6. So we know that the last digit of our answer is 6. Second, we have I and O in leoff, and these stand for respectively inside and outside. So why are they called inside and outside? So inside means that if you're looking at this multiplication, you take the two inner digits. So the two inner digits are the two digits closest to the multiplication sign. So in this case, the two digits closest or inner in this number are 3 and 1. What you want to do is multiply these two inner digits. So we have 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So that's our inside. Now the O in leoff will stand for outside. So it's exactly what it sounds like. If the two digits inner are inside, that means that the two digits out or farthest away from the multiplication sign are outer. So the two outer digits in this case are 2 and 2. So again, that's I and O. And again, like inner, you want to multiply your two outside digits. So you have 2 times 2 equals 4. Now, third step of leoff is you add the inside and outside together. So in this case, our inside product was 3, our outside product was 4. So we know that 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. So now we know that our second to last digit is equal to 7. So again, just as a summary, your last digit is the product of the last two digits, 3 and 2. Your second to last digit, you have to do inside. So you take the two inside digits, 3 and 1, and then outside. So 2 and 2. You multiply those two together, add the two sums, and that's your second to last digit. Then finally, we have the F in Leoff. So the F stands for first. So again, it's exactly what it sounds like. The two first digits of each 2 by 2 number. So in this case, the first digit is 2. This case, first digit is 1. So if we do 2 times 1, we simply get 2. So we know that the first digit of our answer is just 2, or the product of the two first digits. So this is essentially how Leoff works. You use the acronym and it works exactly how it sounds. You take the two last digits, multiply them. You take the two inner digits, multiply them. Then take the two outer digits, multiply them. Then add inner and outer. Then finally, you go to F or first, take the two first numbers and multiply them. And that's your first number of the answer. So in total, if we do this, we get 23 times 12 is equal to 276. Okay. So now, does anyone have a question over this example, or are we all okay? Okay. Again, feel free to ask questions either through chat or just unmuting. But if no one has any questions, let's move on. Okay, so again, this is just the process summarized. Again, last, inner, outer, first. So we have last first, so 3 and 2. You have inner, 3 and 1, outer, 2 and 2. You add the inner and outer products together. Finally, you have first. You take the first two digits, 2 and 1, multiply them, and that's your first number. So in total, we have 276. Okay, so now let's move on to some practice. So again, in every class, after we cover a trick, so for example, the Leoff trick or foil trick, whatever you prefer, we're going to go through 5 practice questions or 5 to 10 practice questions. So after every trick we learn, we'll do 5 practice. And again, like I said before, number sense is about learning the tricks accurately, then learning the tricks quickly. So this practice serves as the accuracy part of that accuracy and quickly. These practices are used to make sure that the kids know how to do the questions accurately. So usually I'll do the first practice with them, and then I'll leave the rest of them to do by themselves. So let's look at 45 times 31. Okay, so again, our acronym LIOF, L-I-O-F. So again, let's start with L. L stands for last. So we multiply our last two digits together. Our last digit here is 5. Our last digit here is 1. If we multiply our last two digits, we know that the last digit of the answer is 5. Simply 5 times 1. So we did our last product. Now let's move on to inner. Our two inner digits, again, remember that inner stands for the two numbers inner in the multiplication, or the two digits like closest to the multiplication sign. So in this case, it would be 5 and 3. So we write 5 times 3 is 15. And then second, we would do outer. So our two outer digits are going to be 4 and 1. So let's take the product of our two outer digits. Again, these are the two digits furthest away from our multiplication sign. So we have 4 times 1 is 4. So again, add your inner and outer products. We have 15 plus 4 is 19. Okay. Now in this case, we don't actually write 19 as our second digit. If your sum comes out to a 2-digit number, what you want to do is take only the units digit. So we would only write 9 as our second to last digit, and then carry this 1 for the future step. So what we're gonna do again, since this sum is 2 digits, we're going to only take the unit digit 9 and carry the 1 or the tens digit for future. So now we've done last, we've done inner and outer. All we have to do now is first. So if we do first, we have the first 2 digits being 4 and 3. So again, first, it just refers to the first 2 digits of both numbers, which in this case are 4 and 3. So we have 4 times 3 is 12. But in this case, we're not done yet since we had a carry of 1 from the inner outer step. So if we add our carry of 1 to 12, we would get 13. So since this is our last step, we would just write 1, 3. So in total, we would have 45 times 31 is equal to 1395. So again, last, inner, outer, first. Okay, so does anyone have any questions over this trick? Or is everyone okay? Okay. Again, usually after we go over the practice, or after I go over the first practice question, I'll give the rest of the time for the kids to do the remaining practice questions. So I guess since this is an open house, I'll give you guys, or any kids in here, who want to try the questions, maybe 3 or 4 minutes to do them before we move on to the next step. So yeah. So again, once you're done with the question, you can just private message me an answer and I'll check it. Okay, so since I guess it seems to be mostly parents in here, we're just gonna move on. But usually like in class after we cover the trick, you'll have a lot longer time to answer like these practice questions. Like I'll give them maybe 10 minutes to do the practice questions, and then they'll answer the questions when they're done, and then we'll explain them. So I'll just explain them now. So our next one is 31 times 62. Again, let's do the lead-off steps. So our last two digits are 1 and 2. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So we write the 2 at the end. Our two inner digits are 1 and 6. Our two outer digits are 3 and 2. So in this case, we know that 1 times 6 is 6. 3 times 2 is also 6. So if we do 6 plus 6, that's 12. However, again, since 12 is a two-digit number, we would only write 2 at the end, and then we would carry the 1 in front. So if we carry a 1, we would have, now since we did inner and outer, we would do first. So our first two digits are 3 and 6. 3 times 6 is 18. If we add the carry of 1 from earlier, we have 19. So we have 1922. Okay, so I got a question that said, do you recommend kids in first grade who have completed BA4 to attend this class, or do you feel like it's too early? Or do you need to wait to complete BA5 to join the class? So I would say that it might be a little too early um if kids were in first grade to join this class because there's going to be a lot of like multiplication in this class, and I'm to be honest, I'm not really familiar with like the level of BA4 or BA5. I'm not sure what that means, but I would say that in order to do this class, kids should be able to handle basic multiplication and like division. So, and we would also be doing things like probability and sequences. So I would say like it might be a little bit too early for kids in first grade to do it. But if if they're confident in their multiplication abilities, it might be fine. So does that help answer your question or okay. So yeah, I would say like as long as they have a solid grasp on like basic multiplication or like decimals or something like that, then it should be fine to join the class. But first grade, yeah, might be a little bit too early. Okay. So let's move on to our next example, question 3. We have 64 times 73. So again, let's do last. Our two last digits are 4 and 3. So if we multiply 4 by 3, we get 12. So again, we write the 2, but we carry the 1 for the next step. So in this case, our next two steps are inner and outer together. So our two inner digits would be 4 and 7. Our two outer digits would be 6 and 3. So again, inner 4 times 7, that's 28. Two outer, 6 times 3, that's 18. So if you add 28 and 18, you would get 46. But again, we got to carry 1 from earlier. So 46 plus 1 becomes 47. Again, you only write the 7 and you carry the 4 for later on. So you would write the 7, and we would mentally carry a 4 to the next step. And finally, our first two terms are inner. Our first two terms are first. So we have 6 divided by 7. That's 42. If we add or carry a 4, we would have 46. So we have 4, 6, 7, 2. And finally, we have 62 times 87. If we do last first, last is 2 times 7. That's 14. So we'd write the 4 at the end. We would carry a 1 mentally, again, since it's two digits. We do inner and outer. So 2 times 8, that's our inner. that's 16. Then we would do our outer, 6 times 7. So 6 times 7 is 42. 16 plus 42 is 58. If we add the carry of 1, that would be 59. So again, we would only write the 9. We would carry the 5. Then finally, we do the first two digits. So 6 times 8 is 48. Add or carry of 5, that's 53. So in total, our answer is 5394. And finally, our last question, 96 times 74. So again, last 6 times 4, that's 24. So you write the 4, carry a 2 mentally. Do inner, 6 times 7, that's 42. You would do outer, 9 times 4, it's 36. If you add the 2, you would get 78. But again, you have a carry of 2 from earlier. So 78 plus 2 is 80. So you write the 0, carry the tens digit plus 8. Then finally, do first. 9 times 7 is 63. However, we have a carry of 8 from before. 63 plus 8 is equal to 71. So we have 7104 as our final answer. So again, that's usually how it's going to go. We're just going to explain the trick, go through the practice, and then that'll be it. So usually now after we go through the practice, we're going to play a Kahoot. So give me a second and I'll pull up this the screen for the Kahoot. And usually we play a Kahoot after we do the practice questions so that kids can feel some of that time pressure, like in like a real number sense or mental math test. So it also helps with their speed after we learn how to do the trick accurately. So, and kids usually really enjoy the Kahoots since I guess they really like the competition, I guess, against other friends or like other kids. But yeah, so we really encourage kids to participate in the Kahoots. So if there's any people right now that want to go to kahoot.it and then join the game pin 757752, we can, I guess, simulate mock Kahoot. Okay, so is there anyone else that wants to join the Kahoot that is not in the Kahoot yet? You can just chat me or message me. But if no one says anything, then we're gonna get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, so the correct answer was 338, and everyone got the question right. So good job, guys. You guys did a really good job. That one. Okay, so the correct answer was 384. Again, I think everyone got it correct. So since this is the open house, we'll only play like 5 questions before we move on. But in a usual class, we'll finish out the Kahoots. We'll go to question 5 here. Okay, so the correct answer was 496. Again, Bryn got it. So good job. Question 4, 24 times 17. Okay, the correct answer was 408. Good job, guys. And then usually, if more than half of the class misses a question, I'll usually go over the Kahoot question and explain that one. If more than half of the class misses it. But you guys are doing a really good job. Okay, so the correct answer was 195. Okay, so that was up to question 5. So congratulations to AX, Jason, AJ, NY, and Henry for all doing a really good job on the Kahoot. So that was just a practice example of how the Kahoot would go in the actual class, except would actually finish the Kahoot out. And then since no one really missed anything, I didn't have to explain any of the questions. But if we're learning a harder topic and say like, well, maybe only one or two people, or even no people got the question correct, I would stop the Kahoot and then explain the question. So let's go through one more trick before the open house ends. This time a pretty quick one, then we'll be done. So this time, the next trick that we're going to learn, that we're also going to learn in the class, is how to multiply a two-digit number by 101. So say we did 93 multiplied by 101. So this is possibly one of the easiest tricks I would say that we're ever going to learn in this class. Since the answer is just going to be the two-digit number you're multiplying 101 by repeated. So what that means is 93 times 101 is just equal to 9393. So I know this trick sounds really easy, but it's kind of cool to explain why the trick works. So why is the answer just the two-digit number twice? Well, we can see that if we recognize that 101 can also be written as 100 plus 1. So instead of saying that we're multiplying 93 by 101, let's say instead we multiply 93 by 100 plus 1. So again, obviously these two expressions are equal since 100 plus 1 is equal to 101. So now instead of saying 93 times 101, we use 93 times 100 plus 1. We would see that if we distribute our terms evenly, we would get 93 times 100 plus 93 times 1. So you'll see that whenever you multiply a two-digit number by 101, you'll always get the two-digit number multiplied by 100 plus the two-digit number. So in this case, if we wrote each term separately, we would have 9300 plus 93. So it doesn't matter what two-digit number you use, you'll always have the two-digit number 100 plus the two-digit number. You see, if you do the long addition, the result of the multiplication will always equal the two-digit number repeated twice. So 9393. So I guess when I saw it, I thought this is pretty cool to why the trick actually works. But yeah, this trick is pretty simple to learn. So does anyone have any questions on why this trick works or how this trick works? Okay. Since there's no questions, let's move on. So again, the answer is simply the two-digit number repeated twice. Again, as we explained, we know why it works now, since 101 is 100 plus 1. So again, after we learn every trick, we would go through some practice. So again, we know that our trick for this one, usually I would just do number 1. So 45 times 101 is equal to, again, the two-digit number repeated twice. So 4545. And then if anyone in the chat right now wants to tell me the answers to the remaining four, I can wait for like a minute or so to type in or private message me the answers and then read them. So anyone in the chat can message me the answers to 2 through 5. Okay. Yeah, so someone told me 6262 for number 2, 7272 for number 3, 6969 for number 4, then 9494 for number 5. Okay, so congratulations to everyone who private messaged me. Everyone who private messaged me had the correct answers for all of them. So good job on learning this trick, guys. But yeah, okay. So that's actually going to be the end of the open house for today. Again, if you have any questions, can do 3 things. You can go to the Momentum Learning website, which is at momentumlearning.org. You can call them at their office phone at 281-277-9075, or you can email the Momentum Learning email address at info@momentumlearning.org. So any of those 3 things, if you have any questions at all about the number sense basics class. Okay, and then someone asked me just now if I plan to host this class in the summer. Unfortunately, I still don't have any details about that. I think that's one of the questions that you should probably contact one of these 3 options at. So go to their website, call them or email them, because right now I still don't have information if we're hosting this class in the summer yet. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you, thank you. So again, if you want to register for this class, go to momentumlearning.org, click 2024 spring, go to online, school of math, and then click on the number sense basic class. Again, you can find all the registration details and the details about the course over there. But again, if you have any questions, you can either ask me or go to any of these 3 things. So other than that, I hope you guys had a good time at the open house. Hopefully you guys saw like what a normal class would look like, just learning a trick, going through the practice and then the Kahoot. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. So thank you guys all for coming. If you don't have any questions for me, you can leave now because we're done. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to stay behind and ask me them right now, because I'll still be here. But if you have no more questions, again, thank you guys for coming and participating. Yeah, and I hope I'll see some of you guys when class starts.